We now have the interim status report for the 2015 TMDL Watershed Improvement, Watershed Implementation Plan. We have Planning Officer Mr. Mary K. Verdery with us, also Mr. Martin Sokolich.
Again, we are just presenting on a interim report for a 2-year TMDL milestones. They've asked for us to just kind of update them at the Department of the Environment on where we are so far with some commitments we made to put some programs together and get some watershed improvements done over the next 2-year period. We have outlined a series of steps and progress that we've made so far on things including best management practice, locations and inventories, some research into state funding implementation for the future BMPs, some mechanical things to just try to figure out how installation and maintenance of the things that the state recommends would work. There's been some physical work done in public works for septic system connections to the sewer systems, also retrofits of septic systems in parts of the county. Done some tree canopy increase, planning for urban nutrient management, which is lawn fertilization basically, and trying to develop a tracking program because we're going to have to keep up with these things for the next decade and beyond to meet the Bay program requirements. And some other things that have been done at the wastewater treatment plant and some improvements we're trying to make within the county departments for how we coordinate our work and try to work for all our objectives at the same time. Asking for the council's approval to submit this interim milestones report to the Department of the Environment.
I just, thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to comment on a couple things. I noticed that under progress we have the $50,000 that we budgeted to retrofit roadside ditches along county-owned properties. I wanted to, I know we allocated that money maybe several years ago, or it could have been 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, I can't remember exactly. But I was hoping to see something come out of the ground on that this year in 2015. I don't know whether there is plans to spend that money this year or if more engineering has to be done.
We've been working with the Nature Conservancy and not-for-profit to bring additional funding into the project, and we were able to get funding support with them to do monitoring of these installations.
Okay.
The monitoring is underway where we're looking at upstream, downstream loadings to be able to assess the efficiency. And the design is underway for 2 installations, one at Klondike and one at Unionville Road. Okay. And everything will be installed this summer.
Oh, great. Great. That's good to know. And then my next question had to do with the require best practices for county land rented for agricultural use. We have several properties, including the Carroll's Market property, which is we purchased several years ago. I'd like to see if the farmer is coming up on the new spring planting, that we make some allocation at that location and any other farmland that we lease out to farmers to try to increase the TMDL benefit of runoff into ditches and things like that with either CRP buffers or some other program that could be established. We did talk about that backstage before the meeting, and I think we've made sure that staff has direction on that. I do want to make sure that we are demonstrating on the land that we do own our stewardship of the property and get the TMDL benefit that accrues to the county.
I see that the Planning Commission on a February 4th meeting did have a chance to look at the interim report.
That's correct.
And what was their findings?
They recommended it to the County Council for approval.
Okay. So we have unanimous decision from the Planning Commission to go ahead and pass this interim report at this time, Council. Again, we had a public session on it. We had chances to make some changes to it, alterations to it. I think it is a fine document for what we have to work with. Again, it is a work in progress. I agree with Mr. Bartlett. You know, you got about 100 different angles to try to tackle this beast. So some things are low-hanging fruit, other things are further up the tree, and we may not be able to get to them this term, but as long as we keep climbing up, we'll reach them at some point. I think some of the things we have in place right now are very, very creative. I know that Mr. Clark and his particular grants have been vital, putting covers over storm water drains to collect the debris that comes out of the storm water. Again, the ditch project that we're about to undergo, that's going to also, I think, be a good initiative as we move that forward throughout the county. So I think we've been very, very proactive in certain positions to try to reduce nutrient runoff into our streams and rivers. So,
One thing I wanted to bring to the council's attention is a level of cooperation and collaboration from incorporated towns.
Good.
We got some money through a National Fish and Wildlife Federation, and we basically took the urban load and looked at the impervious cover throughout the county and in the individual towns. And we allocated to each incorporated towns their share of the load reduction. And they stepped up to the plate and agreed to do that. So a lot of the work that's going on is being initiated in the individual towns, which helps the county out.
the chair is now open to a motion to approve the midterm TMDL milestone interim report for 2015. Is there a motion? Moved by Mrs. Williams. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Price. Is there any more discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Pack?
Aye.
Ms. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Ms. Price?
Aye.
Bill, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.